Hey folks, so what's going on here? I guess this here. Well, this is another compilation of Chetumal, and there's gonna be some way to like keep this phone like level and like still. Maybe if I go like this, that'll work. I don't know. I'm not sure if that looks good or not, but then I gotta that's in front of the keypad. Anyway, someday I will find out how to make videos correctly, but for now, just had to, I don't know. Well, if you contact me, I can send you these images and then they'll stay still. Anyway, so this is, I already showed this, but this is just a different version of this because I like this image because this image, like, really outlines the coast and stuff and shows the eye and the nostrils and the ears and the tail really well. So yeah, Chetumal Bay, Costa Maya. So it seems that I've realized that this is a pattern in these gatekeepers, that part of the gatekeeper will be zoomed in and part of it will be panned out. So actually, in this case, nothing's really zoomed in or panned out. They're just separated. So this Costa Maya represents this headland here, and Chetumal Bay represents this. So it's basically straightforward. The only difference is that this area doesn't exist because this is right up against that and forms it partially. Anyway, so there's cool little thing. Made blue for the bay and green for the land. Here I managed to get a better version of this recreation of the Tierra del Fuego gatekeeper. Basically, it was pixelated, but I just edited the photo by putting I put like less sharp or something. So it's to make it less sharp, it's at least less pixelated. But then this is not the best one to compare because you can't see the knife as well in this one, but it's right there. And all the things. I think it's important to, like, even if the whole shape isn't totally accurate, like, there's certain things that are very important. Like, so from here, it's first going to go east. It's going to curve east around the head. Then once it gets around the head, it's going to curve west a little bit, or at least curve the other way a little bit right here. So that you see it curve in, but then it curves out again, and so you see it curving out. So even though it's not clear if it's curving at the right exact place, but certainly it's in the right order. It's first like this, and then like that. This, and that. So, these are the things where even if it's not like a facsimile shape, these are the things to look for to understand what they're trying to depict. All right, so this is really getting into it. So this is something I just made, at least a tentative. I'm pretty much leaning towards this is what it is, because I'm pretty sure, because I can't see what else it would be. Like, I was thinking that, so this is Sicily right here. This is Italy's toe. And this is, that one place. Should actually find out the name of this island. I neglected to really notice. But yeah, basically it seems like You know, I was thinking that this over here was the horns, and it's still possible. I mean, it's hard to know, but I'm pretty sure it's this. Because right here, there is a promontory right here, like a little peninsula there, and a little peninsula there. And they both point somewhat in towards each other. So I thought, okay, that's perfect. But I think that these are too big. Because, you know, usually if it's zooming in on something, well, who knows? Anyway, there's reasons. Basically, now what I'm thinking is the reason the head is a different color is because the head is actually this. You know, because it's the same shape, the shape of the kind of nose or whatever, the face of the bull. And then if you zoom in on this right here, there is this. So it's not a super major, these are not super major horns, certainly not like identical to that, but they're close together like that is. Whereas these two are not really close together. They're kind of, their size compared to their distance is, you know, pretty extreme distance compared to this. So yeah, pretty sure this is the face. These are the ears. I mean, these are the horns. This might be the ear here. And this is, I think this is the butt, because it seems to, you know, it goes up for the butt and goes up there. Down here it seems to be like the thigh or whatever that would be. Thigh or pelvis or something that inclines down towards whatever. Actually north, you know, but down for him. And so yeah, this is shown. And it's not exactly that north is down. It's like I had to twist it to a certain random angle to get this flat, because I wanted to just make this line relatively straight. So yeah, obviously this is Italy's toe. This kind of confused me too, though, because I was, you know, you could look at the toe from either side and either think this is that or that this is that. But one reason I'm thinking this is that is that I think sometimes a shape like this might indicate, or often indicates, that that's where it's attached to the mainland. So yeah, kind of works either way, but you know, and in some ways it worked better the other way, because this big inlet right here really matched to this, and there's some chance that maybe it is that way, and maybe this is shown with north as up and this is shown with south as up. That wouldn't be at all the weirdest thing in these maps. So there's Sicilia. You know, before I just kind of thought maybe these were the horns, and I just left it at that. I didn't really look for a face or anything. But now I seem to have found the dude's face. Forget what his name is. So this one, I guess I hopefully discover what he is. You know, it seems that these marks are units of measurement, and it shows them on Cuba between the tail and the head of Cuba. So basically most of the island of Cuba is shown with five of these. And so that can be a hint to determining. Here's Tierra del Fuego again. This one you can see the knife better. And Chetumal. Here's an image of, I was trying to make the image of Baja California more visible because it's like so faded. So this is one I was like tweaking with the colors and the tints. This is a reconstruction of it. So I finally found one that's an image online, so it's perfectly straight, whereas the one I took a photo out of one of my books, and so it's not as symmetrical. So I'm going to use that to remake some comparisons, probably. Chetumal Bay, or no, there's Chesapeake. Chetumal and Chesapeake. Maybe Chet means bay or something in some sort of Proto-Amerindian language. So I probably already showed this, but yeah, you can see like the feather, the face there, the body, the kind of haunches coming out at different angles there, and his arm there, and then his dagger kind of thing is this Delmarva Peninsula. But it seems that it has two sides, so that the upper side of it is Long Island's, and then he's holding it right here. This is like his hand or something. But I may have misspoke last time because I was making fun of the Egyptologists for turning this into a lizard, because it seemed like they recreated it as a lizard, and I couldn't see anything lizardy about it at all. But then I found another version of another photo of it that actually does look kind of lizardy, so it actually does seem to have legs here or something. So, and then I'm still not totally sure. I'm pretty much assuming this is Long Island, because it would either have to be that or somehow just a stain that's not even meant to be there. But the fact it comes straight out of the end of this tells me it's probably part of the original painting, and therefore it would be Long Island. So those are basically, because this is, north of Florida, the East Coast basically, and north of Florida, these are the far and above major landmarks of the East Coast, Delmarva and Long Island. The rest of the coast is basically flat, other than it's just like, other than Cape Cod and like Little Cape Ann. This one I just wanted to, I think I was showing this last time, but I wanted to point out again that similar to the Tierra del Fuego one, it's easy to determine, or that one great hint is that even though the tail is not the same, because look, the tail is like, if it was just the same, then you would expect it to be right here. And I mean, I guess there's some outside chance that the tail could be whatever river this is, but I doubt it. What I think is that it's less about the location of the tail and more about the kind of curves, like where it curves here, it goes up, up. I mean, in a sense, like this one goes more back, and this one go more up that way, and this one goes more back. But either way, in both cases, there's a line and then a line going dramatically, kind of it's almost like a right angle here. So anyway, there's the thing going at some kind of angle there, and then it curves the other way, then this curves back around. So that is accurate, where it sticks up, but then it curves around by the end. By the end, you can tell it's curving this way. So it's subtle, but, it's kind of like the Tierra del Fuego one, where those subtle details provide clues. And of course, here's his like mouth and nose and whatever, and chest, and could even be that this river is supposed to be his hand or something. Who knows? And maybe this is his feet right here. Kind of looks like his little feet are right over here. So it's interesting the way a lot of these are. The bays are naturally different colors. I mean, this is named for that, I think, Rio de Plata, River of Silver. And so they just determine what is the shape of that bay that's colored that way, and then turn it into like a zoomorphic gatekeeper. And a lot of these are the, still the borders between countries, Uruguay, Argentina. A lot of these gatekeepers are borders. Chesapeake is kind of an exception that way, you could say. So this is the St. Lawrence Estuary. So yeah, it seems that, this tail that splits in two might be this river here. I'm not sure what it's called because it splits in two there and it's relatively straight. And this halo kind of autumn disk, like solar disk, might be this kind of oblong island here that's kind of surrounded by a channel of water on three sides. And then, but it seems that his front foot, because his front foot is, well, you can't see it, but it actually has four of these things on it, which distinguishes it from the rest. And it's also somewhat distinguished from the rest because it's not holding a knife. And so if it wasn't an important part, he would just be a regular hand holding a knife like all the rest. But the fact that it's like this and that the foot is so long, like look at the back foot is tiny, the front foot sticks out. That's not something that really happens in any species. So that tells us there's something special about this foot. And so since it's placed between Newfoundland and Baffin Island, so that's about this area of like St. Lawrence, Gulf of St. Lawrence. So we see here Nova Scotia. And so I think the foot is Nova Scotia. And actually behind the foot, there's another island that kind of makes it almost look like a foot going the other direction. But that's like it looks like it's attached, but it's a separate island. It's like Cape Breton Island maybe or something. And so I'm just including the actual mainland. And it's interesting that these, based on these dots, so there's 5 of those dots in Cuba from between the face, the face of Cuba and where the tail really starts to curve. And so I just using my phone on Google Earth and the diameter of my phone screen, I compared the two regions, and it is roughly similar distance. That the distance between Nova Scotia and this, which is right here, is it's a little bit less long than Cuba. So that fits. So I'm thinking those units of measurement, they seem to be about 200 kilometers, I guess. So, but it might be, maybe if we used Egyptian meters or something, it would be a more accurate or more exact. But anyway, so it seems like, again, like, this is a composite thing where this whole thing is this, but just this front leg is this huge thing which comes out from there. So just like a lot of these other gatekeepers are composite deities showing different landmarks of the same area. And so yeah, maybe it was this one. Yeah, I think this one I'm noticing maybe it is a freaking lizard. It looks like it does it does maybe have the legs or something that some Egyptologists depicted. It's very but then why would a lizard have